Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and in this video we are going to fix one error, one issue basically which we got when we work with the tab bar in uh, app shell in .NET MAUI project for iOS. So I have this project. Let me show you first what the issue is. So I have simply created a .NET MAUI project. I have not done anything. I simply moved to app shell and it was in this state. So I'm going to first create a tab bar here. So I'll simply add a tab bar and I'm going to repeat this item for 2 or 3 times. Let's have 2 times only. So right now there are no images, no icons, everything will work fine. But now let's introduce icons. So right now I do not have any image added. So in the resources there will be only the default image, which is this .NET underscore bot dot svg. So let's add this image. So we'll say .NET underscore bot, and the same thing I'll copy for this second one. And the route, let's change it to main page 1 and main page 2. And title, let's say home, and this is home 2. That's all. So first let's see it on Android, how it looks on Android. On Android, this tab bar, everything works fine. On Android platform is able to identify the size and resize the image to fit in the tab bar. But on iOS, that's not the case. So I'll show you. First, let me pull up the Android emulator. So app is here and we can see the tab bar items completely fine. Everything looks fine on Android. Now let's see it on iPhone, iOS. So I'm selecting iPhone. Let me run it. So this is on iPhone. So you see we have these ugly images. These are not getting fit inside the tab bar. So that's the issue on iPhone. So first the best approach could be to use these icons or images small in size, the dimensions basically 24, 30, 32. So whatever size fits your tab bar, you can try that thing. So in most of the cases we use icons for this. So those icons we maybe customly built by some designer, or maybe we download from font or some more. And box icons I am using recently, so I like box icons. So from there we can download the actual size, we can reduce the size. Or if you have these bigger images, you can maybe search for an online image resizer. From there also you can do. But what if you do not have control over all these items? Maybe your application, this is rendering these items, these tab bar icons dynamically. Maybe you have some admin panel on the web. From there you can manage these tab bar items and the icons for them. So these are going to be dynamic on the basis of maybe user roles. So in those particular cases, you do not have control over the size of these images. Although you can ask the backend team, or maybe if you are working on the backend team, you can simply display some help text there that the icon should be of this size. But we should prepare for the worst case scenarios. So enough talking. How can we fix this? And yeah, if you want to know how can we dynamically render these app shell items, maybe we can introduce some API, and from there we can reduce or increase or decrease the number of tab bar items. We can provide dynamic images and all these. If you want to know more about that, do let me know in the comment. I will plan a dedicated video for this, that how can we dynamically generate these tab bar items. Cool. So for this, on Android it works fine, on iPhone it does not work fine. So there is no common way. We need to work on platform specific code for this. So how can we do this? For this we need to use MAUI handlers, shell handlers. So for this, first thing, let's go to MAUI program, and here we can configure handlers, configure MAUI handlers like this. Okay, it takes a handler collection. We can do this, and then we can say add handler, and then we can define the type and then renderer of this type. So this tab bar is a part of shell, so we need to provide shell as a type, and then we should define a type renderer. Okay, so this is the thing we will create customly, and that will go to the platform specific thing. So we are not modifying any other platform, so it will only go to the iOS folder, and in here we can create a new file. So what we'll do, we'll create a new class and let's call it custom shell handler, like this. Okay, then let's copy this and we'll add it to the MAUI program where we are registering this shell, this handler. So here we'll say custom shell handler, or maybe let's change it to renderer. The name should be renderer, because if we check the type, but the name does not matter, you can name it whatever you want. So first thing, we need this only for iOS, so we'll simply add this directives. If iOS, if this is iOS, then only you should do this. And let's change this target to iOS. Cool. And this custom shell handler, this is not going to work because it should be a subtype of iShell handler, right? So for this, what we'll do on custom shell handler, it should be derived from shell renderer, like this. Shell renderer. Now that app should go away. Custom shell handler, right? It should be custom shell handler, and if it should be, and if, and this thing, let's change this to here like this, so that it gets executed only on iOS. Cool. So this part is done. Now we'll work on this custom shell handler, or let's rename it to renderer. That would make more sense. Renderer. Cool. Copy, rename the file. Rename the file and then rename this class name as well. Cool. Okay, we don't need this constructor, and from here now we will dive into the actual position where we need to change our code. So for this, we are going to override a method that will come from shell renderer, and that is going to be create tab bar appearance tracker. So that is a part of tab bar. Those icons are part of a tab bar. So we are going to override this method, create tab bar appearance tracker, and now we need to return one implementation of this iShell tab bar appearance tracker. So we need to provide our custom implementation to this interface. So for this, what we can do, we can create a class here. So public class, and here we'll say custom, and then copy everything, custom shell tab bar appearance tracker, and we will implement this interface. So let's do this, implement interface. Now we have these many methods which are coming from this parent, this sorry, this interface. So first, let me comment out everything. Cool. Now we need to work on this update layout method. This is the method we can use to modify the contents of our tab bar. So for this, what we'll do first, because those items, those images, all those can be dynamic, so first we need to get access to those. How can we do that? We have controller, this UI tab bar controller, so we can have access to all the tab bar items from here. So controller dot tab bar, we have this property here, and on this tab bar we have this items property. Now we can modify everything on this. So here what we'll do, we'll check, we'll apply a for each. Here we'll say, let's say tab bar item in this tab bar items. Now it can be null, it can be null, so it is better to check for null first. So maybe you can add that condition if you want. After that, inside this tab bar item we can have access to this tab bar, and here we can set so many things. So first we have access to this image. This is that image, the icon basically. Then we should have access to other things as well, but we just need to work on this image only. So now we have two different approaches. First approach is we can simply get this image and we can try to resize it. How? We can simply generate a new image here. What I mean is new image, or maybe not new image. We have one more property, image inset or something like this. Let me try. Image insets. Image insets, yes, this image insets, and then you can provide this UI edge insets. I tried this, but it to work with this, it's very tough to work with this. We need to keep on trying different values, then sometimes it may work, or maybe for other device size it may not work. I'm not sure. If you have worked with this, do let me know in the comment if it worked for you. It will work, but we need to play around with these values. So these are kind of spacing, I think, from the all the four sides, but that is not what we want in our case. In our case we want to specify the height and width of our image. So for this, what we'll do, we will use something which is called UI graphics. Okay, so we will actually re-render this image which we have as a part of this icon. We will re-render this image in a different context with that new size. Okay, what I mean is, so here what we'll do, first we'll say UI graphics dot begin image context with options, and in this options first is this size which comes from core graphics CG size. So here we'll define a size equals, let me add using core graphics, and here we can say var size equals new CG size, core graphics size, and here we can see we have width and height. So in this case, let's take 24 and 24. So this is the final output which we want. So we can use this size to resize our tab bar icon. Cool. This is the size we are going to use. So in this begin image context with options, so we are going to use size. After that, we have this opaque. We can set it to false, and then scale, let's set it 0. Fine. After this, now we need to draw that image. So how can we draw that image? For this, we can say, first let's get access to the previous image. So let's say image, or we'll call it previous image, like this. Can we get the image if we pass the UI image directly? CG image, NSCoder, CD image. Let's try if we can get access to this using tab bar item.image. Would it work? No. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so prev image equals tab bar image.image. After this, what we'll do, we will say prev image dot, and now we'll say draw. We are going to draw this previous image to new sorry CG rect. So this is a rectangle we are going to use with, if we check the constructors, we have location and then we have size. So location is going to be new CG point. So we are going to start it from 0, 0, and the size we are going to give the actual size which we have. Now this image is going to be drawn. After this, what we'll do, we will get the new image from this context. So for that we can say resized image equals, now we can say UI graphics dot get image from current image context, like this. After this we need to dispose this image context, so we need to close this. So for this we'll say UI graphics dot end image context, like this. And after this we'll simply access our tab bar item dot image equals, we'll set it resized image, like this. And now everything is fine. That's all what we need to do. Now let's try it. I'm running it on iPhone and it did not work. Let's try. So maybe this is the same image. Let's try to get a copy of this, what it returns. The return type is NS object, so we'll say as UI image. Okay, and now let's see if it works. So stop everything and rerun. And it again didn't work. And can you did you figure out what the issue is? If you figured out what the issue is, do let me know in the comment and I'll tell you what the issue is. We are using this thing, but we have not added this here, so we are not using it. Actually we are making these code changes, but we are not using it. So we need to use it like this. So from this custom shell renderer, from this create tab bar appearance tracker, we need to return the implementation, this implementation custom shell bar shell tab bar appearance tracker, that we are returning now. And now we are using this piece of code. So this copy is fine, we should use copy. Now let's rerun. Hopefully it works this time. What happened? What is this? And looks like there is some error. What is this? UI image. What is the issue? If you go, it stops. So looks like there is some error. Let's see what the error is. System.invalid operation exception, type does not conform to NS copying. NS object.copy. I just don't know what it is. If you guys know, if you guys are familiar with Swift and all this code, do let me know in the comment what the issue is here. But what we can try, let's use the image directly without copying. Let's run it again and hopefully this works this time. If not, then we need to somehow find a way to copy that image object to a new object. Let's see first if it works. And boom, you see it worked this time. So now these icons are in place with the new height and width what we have provided from here. You can try changing these height and width as per your tab bar requirement. Cool. So this is how we can fix the tab bar icon image sizing issue on iPhone. Okay, so let me quickly walk you through again what all changes we have done. So this is specific to iPhone, iOS. So we just need to work on iOS specific code. So for that, what we used in our MAUI program, let's first stop it. So we need to work on MAUI handlers. So in here in MAUI program, we simply added this configure MAUI handler. Here we said h.add handler, this shell, this is the, because the tab bar is a part of shell, so shell. And the second type parameter, this is going to be the implementation which we want to provide to modify the appearance. So this custom shell renderer, we have created this inside our iOS project. So here we create this custom shell renderer, which must be a subclass of shell renderer. And here we are overriding one method, which is create tab bar appearance tracker. And from this we need to return an implementation of iShell tab bar appearance tracker. So we simply created a new class here in which we implement this iShell tab bar appearance tracker. So it has bunch of methods which we need to provide body for, but we are not concerned with all these methods. We are just concerned about this update layout method. So for this update layout method, we need to provide our own body. And for that, we have access to this controller, this UI tab bar controller. And from this controller, we can get access to all the tab bar items. So here we are looping through all the tab bar items using controller.tabbar.items. And from there, we are getting access to the current tab bar image. After that, all this stuff, we are actually regenerating this image in a different context, that resized image. So we first defined a size, which is this CG size, core graphics size, 24 width, 24 height. And then we started our context within this size, and then we simply draw this image, this previous image, we got this image and we draw this image inside this context. We are starting from 0 0 and we draw this image for this width and height, which is this size. After that, we simply got access to the resized image, the new image we draw on this context. We are getting this image using UI graphics.get image from current image context. Then we simply dispose this image context using UI graphics.add and image context. Now we have this resized image. So we are simply modifying tab bar item.image to this resized image, and that is all what we need to do. Cool. So that's all for this video. Do like this video, share this video, subscribe my channel. I'll be back soon with some other video. Till then, bye bye.